So after some research, I've discovered that this book by Pavlos Matesis, the mother of dog, it's called in Hebrew, has been translated to English and called The Daughter. And he's one of the most admired. His name is Pavlos Matesis. I'm reading it in the Hebrew version, and I'm just like, every page is amazing. It's describes the events of World War II, a young girl in Greece under occupation. And I have to say, I really enjoy reading. I don't know if enjoy is the right word, but enjoy reading a different perspective than the usual World War II Jewish narrative, from a different perspective. Not to say anything, about the Jewish suffering, but just that we need to see that other people have suffered. I mean, all the nations have suffered basically from the occupation during World War II, and it probably has long-term effects on people. And just the descriptions are horrible, the hunger of people and the poverty. And when we think of poverty these days and people being unemployed, then it gives you a different perspective. So I don't know why people bring children to the dog beach. I just don't know. This dog can definitely bite a child if it comes near her, and I don't understand. We have a whole beach a person can bring their children to. Why here? I guess it's location, but I would like to say that they should have a big sign, because this is a dog beach, which means dogs are allowed only in this area to be free. Only in this area. As you can see, there are free dogs here, and the combination of small children and dogs is absolutely horrific. So I would like to add that to the recommendation of the book. I do have a hard time focusing on one point, especially on the beach. But it's just really, just the description of a mother who takes care of her children, and she has to sell herself. And meanwhile, the church is giving bread to prostitutes. I mean, it's just horrific. And then there's talk about how a mother sells herself to bring food to the table, and different characters in people, and how people unemployed during World War II, they're under occupation in Greece, they don't have food, they live off plants, and it's just the poverty of these people. And the way they take the Greek flag and they have to hide it, and they make underwear from the Greek flag. It's a really cool description, because they're not allowed to have anything of nationality, because the German and Italian fascist occupiers don't allow in that. Just makes you think, just really makes you think about. And the lifeguards in Tel Aviv beach I've never seen lifeguards just as busy. And when I lived in Europe, even I was in Italy with my children once, they didn't have any lifeguards on the beach. Here, you always have lifeguards, and they're active. They're telling people not to let the kids in. You see small kids, and it's a red flag, which means you can't go too deep into the water. I went in, and there was a huge waves carrying me, and I'm not lightweight. A child going into the ocean is in deep danger, and his lifeguard is telling people that, and people ignore him. I'm looking at interesting things like a tattoo. I wonder how much this woman's tattoos cost her. Like, what makes a person invest money in drawing over their body? For me, it's the opposite of creativity. Tattoos are just idiotic. I mean, sorry, if you're from Solomon. One time I told this to a woman in Europe, and turns out she's from Solomon Island, where the tattoos really are a big thing, and they're part of their culture. But for me, tattoos are part of a German culture. Like, if you go to Germany, all the men have these tattoos. And for me, it's kind of like, wow, you've been to prison or something. So it's become part of the Israeli modern. Every young person has tattoos. It costs a lot of money. It's painful. It's toxic. Why do that? So I'm way off the topic, right, Shoshana? And I'm really enjoying this book.